Hello everyone. Second entrance exam out of the three main exam of this year, that is UCEED, is over. It was held on 19th of January 2025. We know you all must be eagerly waiting for a quick paper analysis. So BRDS is here to do it for all the design aspirants. To discuss it, we have with us Mr. Shwetank Srivastav. He has done his master's from IIT Roorkee, and Mrs. Khushbu Patel. She has done her bachelor's from CEPT University and master's from Politecnico di Milano, Milan. Hello, ma'am. Hello, sir.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
So, given the mixed review about the paper, with some students mentioning that the general knowledge section was more prominent and others finding the paper easy, what do you think about it, Shwetank sir?
Personally, if I do think about this particular paper of this year, 2025, I do remember last time in 2018 or 2019, they had asked so much number of general knowledge or general awareness questions. Okay, so definitely it was a very surprising element this year. And I do hope most of the students must have learned this thing, what exactly the IITs do want from their students. They have to be ready for every surprising element.
True. And what about you, Khushbu ma'am?
Well, if we look at the drawing section, I think this time, again, surprisingly, it was giving a lot of freedom to students in terms of how they can compose their answers. Generally, UCEED is very specific about what they want with their drawing elements, how they want it. They provide every detail. This time, the questions were a little more broader, so students could, modify and try and interpret things in their own way. So which I see as plus point because they had freedom to answer the way they require. So it was comparatively a much relaxing section, I would say.
Okay, so let's break down things systematically. I'll share one screen. So what we will be doing, flowchart. So UC paper analysis 2025. So what we will be discussing in this whole session. Part A, paper discussion will be there, which will be taken by Shwetank sir. Part B, paper discussion will be there, which will be taken by Khushbu ma'am. Then we will be discussing about qualifying cutoff and admission cutoff, which is both very different from each another. So Shwetank sir will explain that also, that what is qualifying cutoff and what is admission cutoff, and then what all institutes take UCEED score. So we will be discussing all these points. Over to you, Shwetank sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I want you to bring up to the next slide, that is of qualifying cutoff, so that we can first of all discuss that thing. Yeah, so talking about the qualifying cutoff, so we all do know that there are two different type of the cutoffs in this UCEED exam. Okay, the qualifying marks which you have to get into the part A, so that you can go through the part B. Your answer sheet of the part B will only be verified if you have cleared the part A exam. Okay, a minimum number of marks would be required. How exactly these marks gets calculated, we do not have to think about that particular thing, okay, because it is based on the average marks and the standard deviation. So we do not have to worry about that particular thing. But definitely, if you are not be able to clear this particular marks, if you'll not be able to get more than this particular marks, you won't be able to consider as a shortlisted student for the UCEED exam and for the IIT's admission and other colleges admission. Okay. If we do break down this qualifying cutoff marks that is required, so we can clearly see that it has been decreased for the continuous 3 years. Like in 2022, it was somewhere near to 85.05 for the open category. While for the OBC, it is 0.9 times of the qualifying cutoff for the open. So they do only release the cutoff marks for the open category, and it is automatically 0.9 times of that qualifying cutoff mark for the OBC and zero point 0.5 times of cutoff marks of for the SC and ST category and other categories. Okay. So they will only release one qualifying cutoff mark. So those ones who are from other categories other than the general or open categories, okay, so they do not have to worry like we haven't got our qualifying marks. Okay, it is automatically would be the zero point 0.9 times and 0.5 times respectively for their own categories. Okay, Now, talking about these decreasing cutoff marks, so in the recent few years, we have seen a lot of creative questions have been asked into the Part A section, and that made Part A section a bit lengthy for the students. And that is one of the reasons that there have been decrement into this cutoff qualifying cutoff marks for the Part A category. Okay, so I'm hoping that it is not expected in this year. I'm not going to make any false promises related to this year's qualifying cutoff mark. Okay, but definitely I'm going to say that it is going to be somewhere near to 60 or 65. Okay, according to me. Okay, but soon we are going to get that qualifying cutoff marks in our in on their own website only. Okay, so we will have the discussion according to that on also if it would be required. Okay, so that is my take onto this particular qualifying cutoff mark. Okay, talking about the admission cutoff mark. So those who would be shortlisted from this party qualifying cutoff mark, they will get their rank as per their performance into the Part B and Part A total. Okay, this marks which we have shared with in front of you is from the 2023 and 24 toppers marks who have received the 194 out of 300 and 185.87 out of 300 in their respective years. Okay, I'm expecting this year only this is going to be almost similar, maybe a plus minus 5 or 10 could be there. Okay, but talking about the admission cutoff, as we do know, the number of seats in the IITs for the course of the B design is relatively less than the NID and NIFT. So definitely the qualifying cutoff, the admission cutoff marks is going to be somewhere near to 140 or 150 for getting admission into the IITs. Okay, but this could properly be discussed with you guys only after we do get the number of students who appeared for this year's paper and what is the performance of those students. Okay, so I think that's it from this qualifying cutoff marks and total cutoff admission cutoff marks. So let's quickly jump onto the paper this year's paper, and let's have a small discussion onto this year's paper, like what exactly we expected and what surprise elements were there in this year's paper. Okay, before moving ahead, let me tell you that we are probably be able to give you detailed solution of the whole paper by tomorrow. Okay, and it would be available onto the same YouTube channel. Okay, of BRDS, so you can more prominently get the discussion about a particular question into that uh, video. Okay, so let's come back onto this question paper of this year. So as we discussed this thing in the very beginning of this whole discussion, that there were definitely some surprising element. Okay, I went through this whole paper yesterday and I figured out that there were near about 15 number of questions from the general awareness section. Okay, I would say the whole level of the paper was quite easy. I won't say that it was a very difficult paper, but definitely that surprising element is making that paper a bit moderate for those friends who probably did not prepare themselves good with this whole general awareness section. Okay, but there was nothing new in this very first section, NAT, numerical answer type. Okay, almost similar type of the questions were there, which we had discussed in our sessions, the special sessions for the UCEED. Definitely, we were expecting some more questions from the mensuration side. No question related to the area and volume was there. Okay, there was just one very simple question based onto the sphere and a cube was given over there into the exam. Otherwise, it was just a simple paper of the NAT section. I am quite sure that most of the students have scored good into the NAT part. Okay, so like I just want to discuss about few basic questions in which the students may face the problem. Like if I do talk about the question number 2 over here. Okay, so in this one, they have just simply said that we have to replace the T with the B. Okay, I do know maybe few of the students would have made the mistake by replacing B also with the T. Okay, it is just about replacing T with the B, not interchanging T with the B. Okay, and then we had to count the instances where the up letters were appearing twice. Okay, so we most of the students must have counted all these like Betty, bought, butter, but, butter, bitter. Okay, this little, grummy, this one yummy, and bitter butter. They must have counted this one, and the total such instances we will find out as 12. Okay, but the point or the catch into this one is they haven't said the same B have to be appeared twice only. Okay, it could be any other letter also could appear twice. So yummy would be counted as two, not just one. It would be counted as two because there would be two Y and two M. Similarly, little would be counted also as two because there would be two L and two T, sorry, 2B. Okay, so if you're feeling like that this question is a bit kind of, you can say, of concern and you were thinking about raising the doubt into this question, so I would say do not raise the doubt. Okay, it is a very correct question and a very correct answer given into the draft answer key. Okay, so we are basically having this session for the same reason, like because a lot of students came to me after the paper and they said, sir, probably this question was wrong. I had to raise a concern into this one. So we are just having a small discussion on this regarding. And tomorrow, when you will get the complete detailed solution of this paper, probably you would have much better idea that which questions you have to raise the concern for. Okay. Now, the other questions are the same one. We have discussed this type of the surface counting one. We have discussed the question based on to this one. Like this was a bit logical one. Okay, most of the students I do know, they have thought about dividing the circle by like this. Okay, and they must have got the 8 as their answer. Okay, but that is not the correct. They have just simply said we have to use 4 lines, and the condition was that the lines must cross each other. Okay, like the second cut crosses the first cut. Okay, so like if I'm making the first cut like this, second cut like this, the third cut may go like this also. Okay, this may also be the third cut, and similarly the fourth cut may be like this also. So when you will count this whole sections over here, you will get the answer as like 11. Okay, a very simple question which we discussed in the shape counting session. Okay, the question number 8 is also very correct. Question number 9 is a very simple linear algebra question. You have to make an equation, okay, and you have to simplify this to get the correct answer. Question number 10 is a very simple. We have discussed such type of the question in the IQ puzzles booklet and session, okay, where you had to form the relation with the opposite sectors, okay, and you had to get the relation. The relation was something like this: the number into n square minus 1. Okay, that was the relation. Okay, like 3 into 3 square minus 1, you will get the answer as like 24. So that was the relation between 3 and 24. Same way 460 and 6 to 10. Okay. Similar question number 11, 12, 13, 14. These all questions we have already discussed into the session in different formats and different manners. And we were during the revision sessions also. So let's directly come on to the main questions where you students must have faced a lot of problems into this uh, MSQ and MCQ, where the questions of general awareness were there. So question number 15, exact similar question was there in the mock test paper, okay, where we had just changed the colors of the pieces of 10 gram. I told you about the 10 gram in my classes, okay, and in the mock test paper, we gave a question to you in which we just changed the colors of these pieces and you had to identify the answer with the help of that one. So it is exactly the similar one. Question number 16, dicto options were copied from one of the papers of 2023 UCEED one. Just the question was different. In that one, one of the state was scaled up or scaled down, but this time you had to go with the Tropic of Cancer. So this is a question of general awareness, but a very general question, Tropic of Cancer, which I told you in our classes that it passes through exactly from the center of our country. Okay, so Maharashtra is the one which is not at the center. Okay, so it is going to be Maharashtra on the basis of that one. Okay, question number 17. There was a question like this also. If we talk about 18, it's a very simple observational question. Okay, a lot of students may feel like that it is also a question of mechanical reasoning or maybe general awareness, but this is the question of a basic observation. If you just think about opening a water bottle or maybe turning on or turning off a tap, you will definitely get the full marks into this particular question. Okay. Talking about 19th, already discussed into the sessions of mechanical reasoning. Okay, question number 20, we have discussed into the classes. Question number 21, projection views. Very simple. Question number 22. Now, definitely, I would say one of the question which is based on to the a bit of the current affairs, which is like related to the innovations, design fields, and everything. Okay, so this was something which I would say was not a bit of a logical or not even based on the very basic general awareness. You need to stay updated with the design innovations and the news is okay. And on the basis of this one, you could have answered this question. Okay. Moving ahead, okay, question based on the key figures of our country. Okay, one of them is Mahatma Gandhi, and another one is B.R. Ambedkar. Okay, so on the basis of that one, you had to give the answer. Okay, question number 24 again of general awareness. Okay, so if you had to just simply think of the position of these states, Bihar, Telangana, and Rajasthan. So if you think about our country, so Bihar is over here, Telangana is somewhere here, and Rajasthan is somewhere here. So if you connect them by a line, definitely we are going to get a circle, triangle, my bad. We are going to get a triangle over here, and we have to think about the states that may lie over here into this particular line. So somewhere here, we may get the Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. Okay, but if we do talk about the West Bengal lies below Bihar. So West Bengal would be somewhere here. So it is definitely not going to lie onto this particular line. And same way, Punjab is going to lie above the Rajasthan. Okay, so definitely these two are not going to be the part of the answer. The Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh is going to be the part of the answer. Okay. Question number 25, one of the very easiest question I would say. I'm hoping every other student must have got full marks into this particular. Just you have to follow the lines and you will get the answer for this particular question. Question number 26, trickiest, easy, but definitely a question where everyone is going to get the marks because all the four options are the correct one. If you have just took a random guess, even you are going to get the marks for this question. But one of the finest question I would say related to the coding and decoding one. Okay. Because most of the students will think about the only option B, and I'm 100% sure that everyone is going to get at least +1 marks into this particular question because of marking the A, and A as an answer. Okay. But there is a very good thing about this question, which we will definitely discuss in a proper detailed solution and how we can approach onto those things. But actually, the code of the T could be two different things. It could be two this dots, and in that case, the E would be the straight line and A would be a single one. Okay. Or maybe there's another case could be where T is a single square, A is a single square. In that case, E could be considered as like a this figure, straight line and a square. So on the basis of this one, if we do follow this particular situation, it may be the TATA, it may be this, or it may be this. Okay. And if we do follow this situation, you will get the answer as like option B. Okay. So this is the one. Question number 27. Again, the similar type of the question was given in the past year's mock paper also. That was shared to you guys onto the platforms. Okay. Question number 28. Again, based on to the focal length in the revision classes, I told every other student about going through the camera, how exactly it works, what is the focal length, what is the shutter speed and everything. Just read about it. So it was based on to that thing. Question number 29. Again, very simple question. Again, if you have marked any answer, you would have got the very correct answer this one because all the four options were the correct one. And a very simple approach. I told you every other student about this particular things. Okay. As they have just simply said, rotate it about its edge. So take edges one by one. Just first of all, rotate about this, you will get the figure like this one. When you will rotate about this, you will get the figure like A. When you will rotate about this particular one, you will get the figure like this one. Oh, sorry, C. And when you will rotate about this particular one, you will get the figure like D. So by all the four edges, if you rotate about that one by one, you will get the four different answers. Okay. So it was a very simple constructive question. You could have solved this one very easily just by making the rotations in your rough sheets. Okay. So this was the MSQ section. Talking about the MCQ one, so very first question and the only question based on to the mensuration, which you would have solved this thing. Just I do know what most of the students must have made the mistake into this one. If they would have cube, they must have took this value as like root 2a, which is of the square's diagonal. The cube's diagonal is root 3a. Okay. And the second mistake they could have took is the radius is 10, not diameter is 10. Okay. The radius is 10. So diameter, which would be the diagonal of the cube, is going to be root 3a. So put it equals to 20 and you will get this your answer. Okay. The a would be 20 by root 3. Question number 20, 31. Again, a question in which I do remember yesterday evening, few students came to me and asked about this question. Sir, I'm getting the answer as like 26, 26, 26. Same question was asked into the NET section, not exactly similar, but same thing was there in the NET section question last year. Most of the students have missed this particular triangle and similar kind of the triangle in last year's paper also. Okay, so if you have missed this one or most probably this one, either of these two, most of the students must have missed. Okay, and that's why they were getting the answer like 26. The correct answer for this one is 27. Okay, so do not raise the concern or the question onto this particular question. Okay, again, a simple rotation question, logo, I told you, read about the logo. And this is a question that was asked in the mock test paper also. Okay, like what is the logo of this one? A series based question. Okay, palindrome based question. These all questions are the simple one. This is again a question of general awareness. Okay, where Fulkari. Well, I told you about reading the embroideries of India, read about the Indian culture. So just by answering this full card, you could have got the answer as like option B, which is Punjab. Okay. Uh, 39, Hornbill Festival, very famous. I think in the current affairs PDF, I told you about this and read about the Hornbill Festival, one of the very famous festival of Nagaland. Okay, so that is a Hornbill Festival. Lost Wax process. This again, one of the question I could say that probably a bit surprising and something which is not just based on the general awareness. based onto something or reading something very properly about these all things. So this is related to the metal casting. Okay, this is basically they do create a mold with the help of the wax of the same material which they want to create, and then they do create the mold with the help of that particular wax. Then they do remove that wax. That's why it is known as lost wax. Okay. Question number 41. Very good question. Okay. Remember, students, like when we had the discussion about this mechanical reasoning where I told you about the level. Okay. Level. This is exactly the same thing, the level, where we do use the fluids to solve these all kind of a thing, whether there is a straight line or not. Okay. Question number 42. Again, 43. These all are the general awareness one. Definitely, I would say there were 14 or 15 question of general awareness, which may be a bit tricky for the students, but not that much difficult. Okay, 44, 45, 46. So except this one, which is based on to series, 45 and 46 is based on to the general awareness. Okay, 47, again a question which is based on to the general awareness. Okay, let me tell you about this. Like, if you do know, if we do talk about the river number two, so the options does have Ganga or Yamuna. Okay, so if we do talk about that, so we do know Ganga do pass through the states of UP. Okay, while Yamuna do pass through the Delhi. Okay, and definitely if we do talk about the position of Delhi, it is towards the west of UP. Okay, so as you can clearly see, the river 2 over here is passing from the west side of this river. So this is Ganga and this is Yamuna. So option A and option C got eliminated. Now talking about Satluj and Chenab, Chenab river do pass through Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, so the one is below that Jammu and Kashmir. So definitely that is Satluj. Okay, so that's how we should approach it. It is not required that every time you have to be very sure of every single thing into the question, but with the very correct approach onto the some of the part of that one, we can definitely get the answer. Okay. Question number 48, based on the basic, like this type of the question also have been given for you to the practice and had been asked into the 18-19 papers also. Okay. Question number 49, 50, again, both the questions general awareness. Okay, 51, simple rotation. 52, similar type of the question we practiced from the past year papers also. Okay, where we had to overlap two things and we had to think about what portion would be visible to us. Okay. Question number 53, again, a question similar like that question of NET where we had to create a simple simplification equation and equate all the things together and then just put them equals to each other. But remember this thing, they had discussed about overpowering. Two of the options were there which were not overpowering. That was exactly in equals to the power of the dog. Okay, so that won't be considered as a correct answer. The one which is will be having more power than the dog would be considered as a correct answer. Okay. Question number 54. Now, this question, I would say one of the easiest. Okay. Like you do know, you have to go from 2 to 9. Okay. Definitely, you will move in this particular direction. So, the level of 2, the level of 9 would be lower than the level of 2. So, option C and D got eliminated because of the same reason. Okay. Because the level of 2 is over here, the level of 9 is over here, which is higher than the 2, which is not possible. Okay. Now, talking about B and A, just simply without thinking about how exactly it is going to trace, you could have marked the answer as like 8 just because of the difference between 2 and 9. This is not the difference between 2 and 9. That would be the difference between 2 and 9. And after this one, up to this point, it would be decreasing up to 6. And then after 6 to 9, it would be increasing. Okay, while it is decreasing near to the 9, which is not possible, in this portion, it would be increasing. Okay, so by that one, you can mark the answer as like option A. Okay. Similarly, 55, we discussed in the, I could remember the last day it was when I told you, whenever they do say mirror image plus water image, that is 180-degree rotation. If you have to perform both the things, mirror image and the water image, that would be 180-degree rotation. So you have to just simply rotate this transform word 180 degree, and it will eliminate directly two of your options. Like, sorry, there's two options. Okay, and you will left out with the two options only. And then by identifying the fonts of this one, like R, we can get our answer as like option B. Option D would also be the wrong. Okay. Question number 56, not exactly similar question, but such type of the question were asked where we had to extrude some alphabets and we had to get like how many surfaces would be there in that word. Okay, so it is similar like that one. And question number 57, we had also practiced such type of the question into the classes, like how exactly we can approach onto these questions. Okay. So my overall take onto this whole paper is, I would say, is except that surprising element of the general awareness, everything of this paper was discussed into the classes. Even a lot of questions of the general awareness was also said to prepare before your exam, just to be onto the safe side of this. Okay. Because that is a very common habit of IITs or UCEED exam to give some surprising thing for their students, give something challenging for their students, okay, which will actually judge a particular student whether he or she would be able to take challenges or not. Okay, so my take again, I would say not very easy just because of that surprising parts or unexpected part. I would say a bit moderate one, but definitely you could easily get up to 50 questions of this particular paper. Okay, even reaching to the 45 question, I would also mark as a safe line. Okay, but it was expected to score to be able to solve more than 50 questions into this particular paper. Okay, so again, I would remind that we will make it possible that somehow we do provide the solutions, detailed solution to you guys by tomorrow, so that if you want to concern any question or any issue onto a particular question, you may raise it within the time limit that is provided by the UCEED. Okay, so that's it from my side. Okay, thank you so much. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. So it was just a quick analysis about the UC paper for the GAT part A. So yeah, the detailed explanation, we will be doing it tomorrow and we will be putting on our YouTube channel. You can go to that particular link and you can see what all in detail Shwetank sir will be explaining in all the questions. Till 23rd, if you have any doubts, then you see there is one link in which you can raise your query that this question was not up to the mark. But as Shwetank sir said, every question is right only. But to know more, you can see his detailed discussion, which will be releasing tomorrow. So thank you, Shwetank sir. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
I
Thank you, ma'am.
hope students will get an insight that what they attended and how they can get good marks or not. So thank you. Over to you, Khushbu ma'am. Yes, Khushbu ma'am. So she will be discussing part B, the drawing part. So yes, ma'am, over to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. All right, let's look at the questions that we have for the part B. Let's read out the first question. And as I said earlier, this time UCEED has given more like an open ground, left it to students' interpretation, that how you wish to compose the answer, the view that is asked. Though it was more of an open grounded question, but the kind of subject that they had asked for this appeared to be little lengthy because it covers multiple elements into it. There are already so many different elements and subjects that this topic covers up. So it might have happened that you took little extra time than the regular other questions because you had to draw and add multiple elements to this. Let's try to read the question and see what kind of key pointers we can take, and then we will talk about how possibly we can answer this through the perspective knowledge we have gained. The competitive examinations are finally over and you are going on a holiday. You are at the nearest railway station with your family and relatives, waiting for the train that you can see arriving. The platform is bustling with activity. Other travelers with luggage, vendors, and porters, and whatever else you likely to observe, are also on the platform. Imagine and draw what you see, giving prominence to your family and relatives. Only pencil sketch. They have very clearly mentioned what characters they wish to see, the hero characters of the entire view, and what kind of other elements they wish you to add in your design. It is a railway platform view. We have talked about this particular view and different public spaces and how we can construct a perspective version for this thing. Both style of perspective considering it to be 1 point or 2 point were absolutely correct. There is no restriction in which perspective style you can choose. As long as you manage the vanishing points, eye levels correctly, both perspective styles are absolutely doable for this question. One of the possibility, if we are looking at this for this answer, if we are imagining a railway platform this way, the train and the tracks on one side, and you as a viewer are standing in this particular position and looking at the scenario, we can imagine the scene to turn this way, where you have the crowd, which primarily has your relatives, your family around. You will be able to put down other people walking, passing by the platform area, and train, which is also one of the important subject we have for this, where the perspective could be shown in one particular side of it. So just to plan what is the overall composition we are looking at. Try to work on human figures which are close to you. It's better that details are added to them. Other human figures, it's absolutely okay if you have not created them with detailing. Just basic proportional outlines are absolutely all right. Along with human figures, it is needed that we add other important information or elements that are generally there at the railway platform, being it notice boards, maybe some advertisement posters, being it simple things like dustbins, few informations on train name, the way they put down coach and their numbers around that, the kind of basic ceiling systems, the platform connections that we have and we have experienced in Indian context, how we have a habit of utilizing whatever possible furniture we have. If not, some people are very much comfortable sitting on the floor as they need to locate for a long time. So all of these things, it is good if you have added them apart from what they have asked in the question. Luggage, people who are carrying luggage for more like helpers. Some glimpse of staff members. So we have tried showing a TC in this particular view. And a little more observation on how people behave and what kind of basic postures we can have. For this perspective view, we have considered a basic horizon line to go somewhere around here. An average eye level of a standing human figure is considered. The vanishing point is somewhere located around this area, and it is primarily being used to create the entire 1 point perspective structure for this answer. Similarly, this vanishing point has helped us create the entire roofing structure also, and maintaining the eye level for all standing figures versus more or less figures who are sitting on a particular piece of furniture or luggage. And to give a little glimpse of the family, we have tried showing one, maybe a younger brother, who is located more closer to the viewer with a bag, and mother, a basic glimpse of her and him again from backside, so that we don't have to worry about adding too many details. As I said, it is a little lengthy question because it needs multiple elements and composing them nicely. So this could be one of the option. Again, it's up to complete imagination that you hold. There is nothing wrong if you are following the vanishing points and composing it in a right manner. This could be another way you are looking at the same question, where you as a viewer is located right in front of the train track, and you see train midway arriving in this scenario. And more like the front surface of the train is what you are facing. So 1 point, the depth idea will work in a little different context. And through this, you can save a little time because the vanishing point is going to be used less, as lot of information will go more as elevation. So you can also work on perspective structures like this, where you feel that no, the answer needs so many elements and I might not be able to, complete it in such period of time that I have. Then take a decision accordingly. And if you have gone for a view like this, absolutely all right. As long as you are covering up all the elements that the question have asked. So we have tried putting up the train block here. You can see complete body of it in basic perspective structure. You can see few family members and a glimpse of the viewer person, whose little part of the mobile screen is what we have tried showing. Some ideas on the other platform elements like signages, announcement boards. You can add speaker, dustbin, other vendors who are selling things with baskets. All of these information along with the primary composition asked, and basic idea of a platform infrastructure, which at least covers up the roofing system, some support system like columns. Adding this will give a body to that entire platform view that you are making for this. And try to make human figures in the right proportion. Things or elements or even figures who are located closer to you, the right kind of proportions for that, and relatively as they go far from your vision, how the eye level to be maintained and how proportions to be maintained. We have talked about this in regular lectures, that what kind of things we have to follow when it comes to eye level and how you are supposed to create different elements in response to that. So this is one possible answer method that you can also follow for this question. You can take up any other perspective styles, 1 point or 2 point, nothing wrong about that. Any position of the viewer, absolutely all right. As long as you are trying to cover up the major pointers that they had mentioned and add something from your observation, the answer is good to go for this. Okay. All right, let's try and look at the second question, which was also very interesting and lot of design possibility that way. This one was talking about designing something with your creative idea. It says, a visit to a museum or the zoo is always something we look forward to with much excitement, but such visits are very tiring too. After about an hour or so, we look for a place to sit, a chair or bench that is never nearby. What if we could carry our own chair everywhere? This was to get you a background story of this question. Now comes the thing that they wish you to add in the answer. Design a portable seating device. That's the keyword for it. That you could carry in your backpack or handbag. It should be light enough to carry around, small enough to fit in your bag, easy to use and good to look at. And 2 sketches is what they've asked for. 1, it has just been taken out of the bag so that one knows that when it is compact, what does it look like? And second, it is ready to sit on it. So when you show it in the open condition, so one also knows what that body actually looks like in this scenario. Now, if we look at the possible answers for this, there are multiple methods which can provide you seating structures like that. I'm sure you must have seen some of the mechanisms. There are many furniture pieces which uses these materials and mechanism to operate. Based on what kind of a concept you want to really portray in your answer, you can think of suitable system. Let's say in first option, we take up the bare minimum and simplest system that different foldable furnitures have, which is called cross scissoring thing. You must have seen this kind of cross members in old lift doors also, the one with black shutters, which cross together and they reduce the width. Similar kind of a principle if we use, and let's say we take up metal members, put across, provide a suitable base to it so that it stands steady when the weight comes on that. But when we want to fold it together, this top seating surface should not really be a hindrance. So instead of putting like a solid plane, we put a very thick fabric strip, which is covering itself and it can take whatever folded shape you require when you are putting it into a compact system. So this could be one of the possible idea where a basic stool, or we can say a seating device, can be compressed like this. You can easily store it in your backpack and it can fold into a compact system. Another very interesting approach to this thing could be this expandable systems. You must have seen some metal, glass, or tiffins, which you can store, use to store things. And then after wash, you can put it inside your bag or purse to save some space and to not waste paper cups or other kind of plates. This idea comes from similar kind of a vision where you have two thick disc kind of a body, and the entire central figure that it has is the corrugated expandable figure. This can be with, again, multiple materials. Currently, more important thing is to work on the idea and what kind of a form it can have. We can expand it, make it to what comfortable height we require, to maximum extension, half extension, and then rotate this to lock it at its position. Maybe a system like this can also be used. And since it is a tapered body, it will have a stronger and stable structure, the base, and it will be easily sliding into each other when you try to make it into a compact figure. Different ideas like these can also be explored, or some methods which you have also learned with model making, which is cutting things and folding it up. Imagine a simple rectangle I have with wood and a thickness, and I am removing a particular mass, putting a joinery on both sides and making it foldable like that. And I just need to expand it to take a little support so that I have 4 positions on which the load would transfer, and this horizontal surface to sit on for a little while. Cut and fold is a different method. We use it for a lot of model making ideas as well. These are just 3 possible ways to go about. There are many different forms, many materials, many other ideas you can explore. This could be few of the ways how your idea can shape up. As long as you have taken care of these keywords, that it is small in its compact, light, which includes a basic idea on what form it takes, what kind of basic profiles you have created, and which you can carry easily. So when it compresses together, it is not taking too much of area. If these parameters are done properly, if your 3D sketch or maybe a 2D sketch is explaining the idea pretty well, you don't have to worry about the answer. That is more for the second question. To my knowledge, both of these questions were good to do. There wasn't enough time, but again, because of lot of elements, there was a thinking that this particular question required. It might have appeared little lengthy to few of the students, but as long as you have touched upon the major pointers that the question asked and added little bit of your observation, you don't have anything to worry about it. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. It was great. The explanation was so good. Even I could sense I could have some interest in designing these kind of stools and thing. But definitely nowadays like we used to see this kind of products, so it was very easy for them. If they observe things, it is easy for them to make such kind of product. So thank you so much, ma'am. So yeah, this was all about the part B. That was the drawing session, which ma'am has explained it very nicely. So participating institute, when we talk about participating institute, so UCEED score is accepted by seven of these main institutes, 6 IITs and 1 triple ITDM Jabalpur. So IIT Mumbai, Delhi, Guwahati, Hyderabad, Roorkee, Indore, and triple ITDM Jabalpur are the 7 institutes, the main institutes accepting the UCEED score. So result, very important when the result will be announced. On 7th of March 2025, UCEED results will be out. So all UCEED results will be available on their official website. So IIT Bombay's website is there. On that particular website, UCEED results will also be out. So you can use your login ID and password to see your result, and then you can download your result on 10th of March. So candidate who appeared in UC 2025 can download their scorecard on March 10, 2025 to June 11, 2025 from the official UC website. So shortlisted candidates will get a common merit rank, that is all India rank. So all shortlisted candidates are considered as qualified candidates in UC 2025. So if you have qualified, you have cleared your part A, your part B is checked, you are qualified, you get an admission cutoff, then you will get a rank. Then based on that rank, you can fill the application form of your desired college. And as per the rank, you will get the college. So you have to again fill the application forms after you see results is out for the colleges which you are applying. NIFT. So NIFT, National Institute of Fashion Technology, has also their exam on 9th of February. So right now, if you have filled the form and want to give the exam for NIFT, then we are starting 10-day brush up very soon on 27th of this month, January. So we are starting 10-day brush up, in which we will be covering all the concept. So access to online learning portal will be given. Solving of original papers, sample papers, we will be working on home assignments, doubt solving sessions, and NIFT situation test classes will also be provided to the students who are attending these 10 days brush up course. NID studio test preparation also will be there. So we are starting fresh batches from 10th of February. If you are very much sure that you will clear your NID prelims, you can definitely enroll for the mains part, in which we will be covering all the content, doodling, 3D model making, observation, solving of original papers, sample papers. Highest number of rankers, so that is very, very important, because rank is also there in IIT. Till now, 3,389 students went. So if we see the whole result also, 96 students were selected in IIT from Bhavarathor Design Studio. All top 10 ranks were from BRDS. In NID also, 262 students qualified. In NIFT, 2,181. So we have highest result in India as compared to any other coaching institute. For more information, you can visit our website, that is rathordesign.com, or you can call us on 9825057598. So this is our number. You can get in touch with us, or if you are already in touch with any of the counselors, you can call them as well for more information. For more updates, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.